What's up, everybody? Don't all talk at once because I got your mics muted. But anyway, welcome back to Wednesday night. It's another episode of Convene Communities podcast featuring the one, the only.
That's me. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great.
All right, good. This is the last podcast of the year, so this is going to be a good podcast. So what you're going to see tonight, we're bringing in our special guests. If you saw that, it's the end of the year, 2023 in review. We're going to talk a little bit about 2024 and goals. We got Brenda Warren on here already. Got Mark Oman and Jeff Bateson, and obviously Doc. And we're going to have others pop in during the show. They're just going to keep popping in, but this is good. You know what? I'll tell you, and I'm going to go through some of it tonight. I'm going to talk about some of our numbers through this. And I think some of our numbers, I went and started, jumping into the data. And I'm a Marine, Brenda. We're Marines. It's not that I'm a pilot. So I'm not going to jump straight into data. If I was over here and I was Mark Oman, he likes the data. Mark, you like data? Yeah. So you're a data science guy. And I love it. But I started getting into the data. And the data is pretty freaking impressive for what we've done. Even more impressive, I'm going to be honest, more impressive than I even knew. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through it. And I'll
What's more impressive than that is our new guest.
Yeah.
Hello.
And Laurel Marr, the one and only death doula. I like it. So good to go.
Here.
Hey, Laurel.
Hi.
All right, let's talk about a number. Let me throw out a number for y'all real quick. Would y'all believe that for gross volume of money this year, we had over 102% growth from last year, 102% growth. Now, I'm not going to throw out the exact number, but it's 102% growth. So we doubled, more than doubled. More than doubled what we were at, by 2%. And the month is not even over yet. So again, we still have a lot of sales that come through on the membership. So why is that? And so let's kind of talk about that, because why is that? It's because we have new programs. We have new people rolling things out. And so with that being said, we'll kind of jump in there and I'll kind of go through some of the stuff that people have done. And we'll start with you, Brenda. You're getting the life community up and running. You can kind of touch on some of the things that have been creating and some of the stuff that you're going to be doing here up in 2024. And again, some people may have seen this, but it's a review for us. So we're going to go into it. So talk about, the exciting things that's happening in Brenda Warren's world.
I think the most exciting thing for me was that Convene Communities allowed me the opportunity to really figure out what I wanted to do. Because I started out the life community as living life every day, and it was about life coaching in general. But as we began to be coached, as we began to evolve, collaborate with other members in the community and find out really what I needed to do, and you guys encouraged me to niche down, I realized my sweet spot was business coaching. So the life community morphed in from just hitting all areas of life to be able to specifically become life, and it represents leveraging impact for entrepreneurs. So now our focus is clear to make sure in this community that we're creating an environment where entrepreneurs can come in and get the help they need to start their businesses or to grow their businesses. And then also allowed me to develop a coaching program in the Solutionist portal that helps them go to the next level when they need more intensive training from what we offer in the free area, along with our passive income training, our collaborations, etc. So it's been really amazing.
Yeah, that's really pretty cool. So, one of our newest members that really kind of got going in October is when I first met her, and really got going in this year's is you, Laurel. And so, that growth, that 102% growth, if you heard that, we've had 102% growth on the money from this year. We've doubled on from one year to the next, which is really cool for us. Is a great thing. And part of that is because of you. So let's talk a little bit about you, and what I'd like you to answer is you came in with a goal to make 2 modules and create death doulas and create certified death doulas. And so you explain what a death doula is again, and then talk about how you have taken that vision from certifying death doulas through 2 modules to a complete franchise platform.
Okay. Yeah, it's really exciting because Matt, when we met, I, had a vision for training, but I didn't have a vision for, business building beyond training. And in the program that I came out of, they did some basic business, um, teaching. Should you have a sole proprietorship? Should you have an LLC? Should you be insured? How to do a website, but that wasn't enough. What is a doula? Well, it's a very new role. A doula is, the word means a servant, and it is someone who comes in with a family, an individual or a community when there is a terminal diagnosis. That's the best when they hire someone early on, but oftentimes people already in hospice care when they hire a doula, but a doula will walk every step of the way through the journey of death with a family, with an individual. One of my clients right now is single, and incorporating their community into the experience of dying. It's very important. We no longer see death like in centuries past. We can hear someone died, right? And we didn't know. And but the whole doula movement is to bring death back into conversation. Doulas are forerunners in a movement called Death Positive. But what does the work look like? We are not medical, so I cannot give the morphine that comes with the hospice care. I can help families or those either caring for someone who's in hospice care, help them feel comfortable giving the medication. I'm educated in how all of that works, but I can't give it myself. But I will tell you, it's very frequent that families have not had someone dying in their home before, and to think that they are going to be administering morphine on a regular schedule to someone they love who is dying can be very, very hard. So I can help, I help people with that, and they become comfortable. And really what that ends up coming from that is, as the body begins to shut down, families also get very uncomfortable with that, and they'll do anything they can to keep someone that they love alive, whether it's continuing to feed that person when that person is no longer able to take solid foods and you move to liquids. So a doula really just helps the family process, walk through, answer questions, and very oftentimes, this is a surprise, but I'm engaging the church community. So I train doulas that are right now primarily Christians, but when I work with Christian families, I'm always surprised how much I engage the Christian, the pastor, the Christian community. Everyone's really busy, and when someone's been home for some time with a diagnosis, it can be hard to keep that person in the mix. Mm-hmm. And so I find that's some of the most rewarding part of the work that I do.
Yeah. We'll get back and we'll come back to, your community. We go to somebody else, but how you're growing and all that stuff, because hit on the numbers of that. So, Jeff, talk about some of the stuff. You got a big role. Some other people aren't here that you're co-community leaders, but talk a little bit about how you've been able to use the platform, use it in the classroom, use it with your soccer and all that. And that's, again, helped in our growth as well.
Yeah. Couple specific ways, like you mentioned, uniquely you and uniquely yours with Kate and with Amy. The teens, young adults community, the adult community, parenting community, I guess, is one of them. And then also with soccer, the soccer community, which I've had to scale back a little bit in order to move forward better in 2024, and really using some of the ideas and the models that Laurel's using with her doula community, right? But first, uniquely you is kind of what I've really focused on this past 6, 7, 8 months, so that the last 2/3 of the year, and getting that going, and the partnership with Amy and with Kate has been fantastic. we have a few different groups in there now that are flourishing. We have a couple different groups that are in the process of being launched here in the new year. One by a former student of mine, actually still a student, but taught her for 9th and 10th grade, and she's going to put a group in Uniquely You. I've got the growth mindset module group that's going to be coming in soon, and it's really just about engaging teens and young adults in a bit of a different way. We talked a little bit about earlier this week and even today about videos and having video, the presence of videos in the communities and the groups, and how teens, especially young people today, it's really how they view life, really, through short little videos, right? And try to keep them engaged. Well, we want teens to be engaged in our community, but we also want to teach them in different ways, teach them different concepts, different ways to communicate and collaborate. And that's what we've been focusing on with Uniquely You, especially, and also yours, teaching the parents a little bit about the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's been a good year. I can't wait for 2024, and especially, as I said previously, with the soccer community, I'm going to revamp that a little bit and push forward. And then also kind of close to my heart and my family's heart, Amy's going to open back up the teachers community, and I can't wait to help out with that. So that'll be great.
Yeah, and on here right now, speaking of teachers, we got you, and we got retired teacher Mark Oman. So Mark, you came in and was one of our speakers last year at the Convene 23 event, which I'll touch on that. Convene 23 was a big speaking event for us, our first big event. We will have Convene 24. It's going to be put on the schedule shortly. Actually, I had a meeting about that last night just to keep everybody up with Nicole. So we're working on these things. Big growth for 2024. But Mark, you were able to come in and you're working on a course. So kind of talk about what you're working on and what you hope to launch in 2024. Again, it just shows the diversity in the things that we're doing and what we're bringing to the table and how it can make a difference in our youth's lives.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, I'm Mark Ullman. I've got a course, and we call it the Higher Performance Generation course, as in you're generating higher performance in yourself. And the sum of the parts is equal to the whole. And if you can get yourself in a better place, you can contribute more to your group. And so we will have it when our course is out here soon. We will have it in Uniquely You as well as a standalone course too. But yeah, it's based around personal achievement, and there's 3 pillars that it really centers around, and that is mindset, relationships, and then self mastery that goes with that. I've presented in both a business classroom as well as an educational classroom. It's a course that it's unique in the fact that it really centers around you've got to get rid of some things in your life and you've got to add some things in your life. And when you do that, so it's just to give you an example, it's not enough to just be positive. I mean, you hear that you've had coaches tell you that before. Think back to your high school, maybe football coach or volleyball coach, be positive, you got this. Well, it's not just enough to be positive. You also have to get rid of the negative. And so, eliminate those things in your life. So eliminate the negative and add the positive. That'd be just a great example to get rid of a limited mindset and then move yourself into continuous personal growth. So had great success with it. Did a lot of data on it when I was an 8th grade science teacher and really turned some lives around and got a lot of nice letters, a lot of nice stories from all kinds of students that go with that. There's a few that stand out, but I had a young lady that became best friends with her mom just when she just kind of flipped her mindset just a little bit. And that was a very common one. I had another young man just gave up he wanted all kinds of things. He was very materialistic. And he said, after kind of changing my mindset, I just don't desire that. And he was able to kind of move on and really focus on his studies. And so simple things like that, but as well as those simpler things in life, which for a family can really turn out to be a big thing. There were some really life-saving stories that came with that too, and those are the ones that I hold near and dear to my heart, and you'll see those. You can hear those in my course, which will be coming out soon.
Yeah.
higher
Yeah.
performance generation.
I can attest to the effectiveness of it, Mark. Obviously, you came in to my classroom last year, or this past year, last school year, and just your 1 90-minute session with the kids, they were all about it. I mean, it was a summary. Here's what it is. Mr. Bates going to start incorporating the class, and they were. I still hear kids talk about it in the hallways today.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
cool.
Good.
Well, and one of the things I love about Convene is the collaboration that goes on, community to community, group to group. We just kind of touched on it, and one of the things is that, we talk about video and how important video is, and so. Mark, you have videos made by Andy that y'all working on editing. That will be a big part of your course. So, yeah, Andy, talk about this because you're a big part of Convene. So, video, some of the things that you do, video, podcast, talk about some of the new podcasts of the Convene members that you're getting ready to start, and the things that we're going to do. So kind of highlight some of the stuff that you do.
Well, I think you just did. So moving right along.
Yeah. But how about some of the podcasts that are coming? How about that?
Okay.
Let's explain. Let's
So
go a little
yeah,
deeper there, big dog.
we've got a couple good shows coming up after the new year. Jody Watkins is one of our Convene members here, family members, and she's had her podcast, but I guess she's relaunching it after the new year. So I'm gonna take care of all the behind the scenes, if you will, for her, and let her just come on and do her thing. And then a couple other folks that I'm not sure if they want me to throw their names out just yet, so I'll hold off on that. But yeah, we've got some.
Well, I'll
stuff
throw
lined
it.
up.
Renee, we can throw Renee's out because it's coming. Renee is going to start a podcast with you, and he's doing some of the stuff about business building and marketing and stuff like that, trying to bring people together in his region down in the southeast and stuff like that. So which would be good. So that's another great one, and then you may have some other ones, but. And then obviously last week, what did we do last week? The wellness community. Very, very excited that the wellness community is going to be on Tuesday night, 8:00 for everybody. So we're going to go Tuesday and Wednesday. If you can watch, great. If you can't, we're hitting you back-to-back nights. But this wellness community is important to me. It's something that we talk about all the time. We build into Convene. I am happy to say that the first guest is going to be Patty Muller. And so many of you know Patty Muller. She's been a big part of Convene in the past, and she'll be coming on. And her topic, that first show, is going to be pretty cool. And it's one that you're going to want to hear about, one that's kind of near and dear to all of our hearts. We're going to talk about, she has a hashtag that she uses, but it's really talking about social media, like we've been talking about, and body dysmorphia and all the different things and how people, will change their appearance on social media with filters. And now our kids are watching all this and they're seeing all this stuff. And she's seeing this in her counseling world as a big problem. Right. So as we're talking about the different things that we do, that's one of the topics. That's how we're going to kick it off there. And she's done a lot of research and a lot of talking on it. And it's a great thing. So very excited about that. What's that?
I support you, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate it because it wouldn't happen without you. So that's a good thing. We do also have a guy named Matthew Seaman that's coming on, who's a recovery counselor. He's been a part of Convene in the past. He's out in San Diego. He'll be out on one of the later months there. Just cool things that are coming and we're growing, and that's exciting. So when you get to that, let's talk about this. You want some more numbers? Some more numbers, new customers. That means people that have paid up 173.3%. Active subscribers up 172.7%. We have a thing called MRR, and MRR shows the definition of it. I'm going to read it to you. Monthly recurring revenue is your normalized monthly revenue from all active and past subscriptions. It is the best single measure for the health and trajectory of recurring revenue bonus. So it's a business projector, and it's showing the health of your business. We're up 261.2%. So these numbers are not lying. And guess what? We haven't even started. Brenda, you haven't even started really blowing it up like your plan. So talk about your plan of how you are going to blow it up. in the first couple of months. And the cool thing about the Convene communities is and I'll talk about this real quick while I lead to you. When you come into Convene communities, a lot of people have a story. A lot of people have an idea. A lot of people have something that they're passionate about. They just don't know how to execute that plan. They have no idea how to execute that plan. Well, once you come in, you can take that story and you can take that passion, but you got to turn it into something and you got to come up with a strategy. So the way I see it when people come in, they have to turn that passion and that story into a strategy, but they also have to figure out, what is your brand? Who are you? You know? And so there's different pieces that are going on. We have coaches that can help you walk through that. That's one of the things that I do, through your strategy and through helping you learn how to build in the platform. Well, there's a gap there. It's like, how do you brand yourself? How do you learn how to market yourself? How do you turn yourself into a business? You know, are you going to be an LLC? What are you going to do? And then how do you go and market that? Well, there's somebody in Convene that does that, and it's Brenda. And that's part of what your portal does. And so talk a little bit about that, because it becomes a workflow that we want to put people through as they come inside of Convene. And that's a cool thing.
I think what's really cool about Convene is that I always say when people are coming in, I tell them, join my life community, because that's absolutely free. You don't have to spend a dime. You come in, you work with us in the life community, where we're going to leverage impact for entrepreneurs. That's where we're going to tell you the what. We're going to give you the basics for the information you need, and we're going to teach you how to make money in your sleep, how to network, how to collaborate, how to gain knowledge, how to create courses. That's all being done for free. And when you're ready to level up and really take your business to the next level, that's where the paid group, the Solutionist Portal, comes in. And in January 2024, we're kicking off something exciting by allowing people to join the portal for like $97 a month, the first 150 people. And then the price goes up from there, because inside of that portal, we're going to be teaching branding, marketing, sales skills. There's going to be media training, podcast training. There is everything in there, because we've already set aside the coaches, the training, the time to do it. The main thing is, I tell people, I'm like the what do you call it? I am the legal shield for business. Oftentimes, people want to have a real person they can reach out and talk to. Well, when you go to other platforms and other courses, you get the course, but you don't get the person that wrote the course or the person that's doing the training. In Convene and in the life community and in the portal, there's a discussion board where you can ask questions, and the group, the collective, will answer in addition to me. But inside the portal, in addition to the live community, you get real-time access to me, monthly coaching calls, later coaching calls. You get strategy sessions. We do one-on-one, because we want to teach people how to do business their way, how they can close the gap between their desire and their reality. And Convene Communities allows for that, because guess what? I'm not the only one doing it. Because in Convene Communities, we believe your light does not have to shine, does not have to dim because somebody else's light shines. That's why the collaboration is so cool. When I was asked to do a mindset video for Jeff's era, I was honored. Or when I can come in and talk to another group and talk to them about mindset, or talk to them about marketing, talk to them about funnels. That's the power of Convene. It's the collective.
Yeah, you're so right. That is the power. It is. And so, again, now we're going to go from what you said, and we're going to give the example. And so we're going to go over to Laurel and give the example. We're going to build the watch and build the example, because it's so important that you understand this. And this is applicable to what you're doing. This is applicable to what Laurel has done and what she has created. Mark Ullman, this will be applicable to you. And when you create this mentorship program based around your content, this is so much bigger. And Jeff and I were having a lot of conversations about it today. It's not just coming into a platform and creating your course, and it's a standalone course, and it's in one area, and that's it. That's all you do. So with Laurel, we talked about this at the beginning. She wants to bring people in. She wants to teach them how to be a certified death doula, to go in and have a client. But that's just the beginning. So Laurel, what has it become? What is your community become, and how have you created really the perfect franchise model for death doulas.
Yeah, sure. Well, I want to start by just going back a step to what I said a little bit earlier. When I, came out of another death doula training program, it left so much to be desired. And I knew I was struggling getting my business going, but I didn't know what the missing piece was until I met you, Matt, and found that with Convene that I could put my certification and build my business on the same platform, all inside of one community. And so with this capability and with this idea, I am franchising it out. So the training remains the same, but those who train under me can bring other people into the program by the work that they're doing. They still come in and train under the course that I've made, but I give away a referral fee. So if Brenda, for instance, was training and had become a certified doula, and she's out and making doula work where she is, and someone says, "Wow, Brenda, I really like what you're doing. Can you tell me more about it?" She'll share her link that she has from having a Convene login, and that person will come join, explore the site, and when they end up paying, Brenda gets a percentage of that, and a good percentage of that. It was worth it, right? And then she may never know that person goes and brings someone else in, and Brenda gets another percentage, right? So it just continues to grow. But what's really important about this is doulas are needed just as much as any other community inside of Convene that's being formed, right? All of these are really major needs in our society today. And so Convene gives us the option to do, a franchise. So as I said, I've got my training program. I've got multiple doulas. They're out in their different states, and I've got, one in another country of the world. They bring doulas in, and we're franchising through our states and our countries. So we have state leaders inside of the American states, and we have someone from Canada and someone thinking about it from Scotland. So they will become leaders of their state, of their region, however big they want to go. And I'll tell you, everybody's getting really excited about it. They send me a text or a direct message through Convene and say, "I want to be a state leader." Like, I don't think I'm going to have a hard time finding state leaders. I'm probably going to have a lot of state leaders. So the more that they go out and work and present to their communities what work they're doing, the more doulas are going to come in, and we're going to continue to expand and meet the needs of the people.
Yeah. And it was pretty amazing. You had special guests the last 2 weeks on your podcast that did training for them.
It was very special.
Who was that?
That was Matt Curran.
That was me.
Matt
That was
Curran.
me.
You have to do this, Matt. You gotta go like that.
I know. I'm not sure that that they were aware what they were signing up for exactly, right? I said, yeah, we're going to talk about business growth, but they got 2 full tutorials on Convene from the creator and founder himself. It was really great.
Was special.
Lots of excitement. Yeah.
Well, let's do this then, Laura. Let's flip it around to Matt for a second. Matt, you've asked a couple of us, what's the goal moving forward? What's the vision moving forward? And yesterday, when I came into the office for the first time in a while, you were on a call with Kate and some other ladies on a kind of a business call, right? Yep. I'm asking about Convene and how they can use it, and they had some really, really good questions. Yep. For you in terms of what why should we join? And one of those questions got us both thinking yesterday and today, sort of long term, and I thought you answered it great. But the question was essentially about the staying power, right? Yep. They had been burned a couple of different times in the past with platforms, whether it wasn't the right platform for them or the platform fell apart and went away, or whatever the case was that they mentioned. And what was your answer when they said, "Hey, we've been burned. What's your staying power? What's your plan for sticking around?"
Yeah, I said I'm out. Fast, I could. No,
just kidding. All right, we'll see you later, guys. Good talk.
It's a good podcast. It's 8:30. We'll see you guys. Merry Christmas. Right. No, we've been at this a long time.
Just kidding.
And you know, some of the other charts that I have and some of the other data that I have, like I'm not pulling it up here. I'll show you guys at a different meeting, but you can actually watch in the data the history that we've gone through for this. And I explained to those ladies when they said, I mean, they asked me, they said, you know, we want to know that that Convene is here, that you're here, and that this is something that is not going anywhere, right? And so I explained to them, everybody knows, and everybody's been there, especially everybody on here has seen me speak. And this started with the loss of my friend Clark Beatty. And I'm not going to go into that story, but the point that I was making to them is I started this with a mission on July 9th of 2001. So that's my staying power. I'm not going anywhere. I believe in what we're doing. I believe that, you know, we call it Convene Communities, a platform with a purpose. And I believe that what you guys have already talked about is that purpose. You all are individuals that want to make a difference in people's lives, whether that be our youth's lives, whether that be other people that are entrepreneurs' lives, you know. And I told them, I said, you know, when somebody inside of Convene gets a testimony, it's like me getting a testimony. It's the platform getting a testimony. And I know it's the same when you guys see one of your peers and one of the other people that we're working with get a testimony. It's like you getting a testimony as well. And so we're here. We have staying power because we all believe in our mission, and we all believe in our story, and we all believe in what we're doing. Now, the platform, we're just getting started, you know, and we've gotten we've gotten to a point where we're growing. The platform is working. We have a plan going into 2024 to take it to the next level, and that's what we're doing, you know. So there's no backstepping or no leaving or no turning it off. It's only up and up from here.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of words and phrases that I want to reiterate, and I want to talk to the rest of them a little bit about. You mentioned mission.
Yep.
Right. It was your mission. You mentioned that you believe, or the belief in what's going on in the platform, and also the community and the people. You mentioned a purpose, and everybody on this call right now, and others that, have been on the podcast before, have a purpose. And one you didn't mention, but you've alluded to it. The purpose is bigger than finances. The purpose is bigger than money.
Correct.
Right, Mark? You didn't teach for the money, did you? I mean, same.
No,
I think coach and teach. No, I think coach and teach for the money, right? Laurel, you're not. You know, money's going to be good for you, but that's not your ultimate purpose. Brenda, same thing, right? We all have this different purpose, and I think we see and hear, and I think what the ladies were also talking about yesterday was there's a lot of different platforms and a lot of different ways to get information out there, but most of those platforms and most of these sites, their main goal is money, which isn't bad, right? You can have that goal, but the long-term goal, the long game, has to be bigger than that. And that's why I've stuck around, you know, and I know that's why the others on this call have stuck around. So, you know, Mark, I'll go back to you quickly. You mentioned before we got on, speaking of purpose and mission and belief, you know, you were making these videos for your course for your higher performance generation with Doc, and you're going to be finishing up the editing coming in soon and getting the group in, and I'm going to use it in my classroom. So, what's the biggest purpose? What's your biggest mission and purpose behind that?
Well, it takes you know, as far as the classroom goes, it takes a kid wherever you're at and gets you to the next highest level. All right. Then it'll move you to the next highest level after that. So if you're doing pretty well, there's something there for you. You can still take it up a notch. If you're struggling or you're not doing so well with where you're at in life, there's something for you too. It'll take you up a little bit. It just takes you through that. And it's very big on comparing you to yourself, and not to your ideal self, but compare yourself to where you were at maybe yesterday or last year, and get you to a better place. And so it's very unique that way, in the terms that when you take your ideal self, you can feel pretty awful trying to compare yourself to really where you ultimately want to be, because if you've ever aspired for something like that, you know that you never really get there. And so that can be a struggle, especially for a like an 8th grade science student, like I used to teach. Middle school can be a little awkward, but getting them to a better place from where they're at to that next place in life, and there's room for them to. There's room in there for them to tailor it to themselves too.
Yeah. Well, and follow up and shortish answer, but you have a goal of how big of a blanket or net, I should say, you want to reach. What's that goal?
Yeah, 1 million kids. I was asked that when I was on stage, so somebody put me on the spot. It was actually my wife that put me on the spot because I had let that information out privately. So she caught me, and once you put it out there, then it's out there. And so my mission to reach 1 million kids, but I'm flexible. I'll go to 2 million. Two would be great. 4 million, that'd be fine.
Hey, Mark, but that was when we came and we got in here and we know the strategy and we wrote it up on the board. Yep. That was a question I had for you. Okay, how you going to do it? Right? Yep. How are you going to do it? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, when we were talking about that with Brenda and when I was transitioning to her and talking about strategy, that's what we really dove into, and that's what I've dove into with all of you, really. But yeah, it's good. We all want that goal, but you have to have a strategy to do it. And that's what I'm trying to point out about the platform of Convene. It makes that possibility real. It makes it real. If you want to reach 1 million kids, you can come up with a strategy and you can do it all in one spot inside of the platform as the resource. Convene is a resource to go forward and have organization and make that happen.
Can I jump in right here, Matt?
Absolutely.
And it's not just a strategy. What Convene provides for us is the 3 things I always talk about: strategy, structure, and system.
Yeah, there we go.
By having a solid strategy, which all of these people here tonight can help you develop in one way or the other, the platform becomes the structure that allows us to combine our talents and to span out all over the world, because we have people from all over the world coming into Convene communities on a regular basis, taking the different trainings, be it podcasting, learning how to do stocks, getting coached by Matt, getting coached by myself, or the other coaches, Jody Watkins. There's so many things going on. And then the systems become, I love the fact that anyone that comes on Convene can write an experience. That system alone is a way that helps people with their mental and emotional health in ways that we still have not even begun to scratch the surface on, because the fact that you can come to a platform for free and actually create an experience that's beneficial for anyone that will see it is unique to Convene in a way that I haven't seen on other platforms that I've had access to. I just wanted to bring that out, Matt.
I love it. I'm going to steal that from you. The 3 S's.
Structure.
I hope you don't have that trademark.
No, I don't. Strategy, structure, and systems.
I got to start talking about that. That's a perfect way to talk about Convene. It really is.
It really is, because the bottom line for all of us is when we arrived at Convene, if it was like me, many of us started not really I still remember the first time I saw Laurel. She wasn't sure what she's going to do. And I must say this, I remember you were so timid and so doubtful. And my God, the powerhouse that you are, because you decided to trust God and actually step out and walk in your purpose and help families at one of the most vulnerable times in their life. I got to witness that. And then to see you expand that to bring other people in, and then expand that to make it statewide, and then to expand that. The limits are only the limits that Laurel will place on herself, because I can see her expanding that worldwide. I mean, the vision really is about what you believe you can accomplish. And the best part about Convene is there are people there that will add fuel to your dreams. They're not dream killers in Convene. They're the people that says, if you can't conceive it, you can achieve it. And we're going to show you how, with the proper strategy, using the right structure and helping you develop the right systems.
Yeah. So you got
kind words, Brenda. Thank you.
Yeah. Unbelievable transition here, because I actually wanted to go to Laurel and talk about strategy and structure a bit. And I mentioned, I want to reshape the soccer community and kind of base it around your model, Laurel, of state by state death doula training. And I think it's important for a couple different reasons, but one of them that I can think of is that I'm sure that there's different laws in each state that are based around death, legalities here, there, everywhere else, right? So you can have your national or global model of being a death doula, which is going to be awesome. And you're teaching each of these leaders in each of these states, and those leaders then know their state and their state, or should know their state law, so they can help the people in their state, right? So I equate that to the soccer a little bit. Everybody in the soccer world knows their state or their area pretty well, and knows the different clubs and teams and rules or whatever else. But at the same time, knows soccer on a more global, holistic approach. So tell us a little bit about, or describe moving forward into 24, how you're really going to sort of narrow down and focus on that state by state model.
Well, great. So that's a really good point you bring up, because, right, there are different things for different states, and a new doula coming in can use discussion boards, private messaging, all sorts of means to ask state leaders, others that have been doulas for a while, hey, I've got this question, we're up against this with this family. Can you give me some advice, right? Or a doula who, finds something out that he or she thinks everybody else ought to know in that state, they can post it in the discussion board and keep things going. So it's constantly educating, which is really great. One of the things I've said to the doulas I'm training is that when you go with another program, you'll train on a flat platform, a static platform like Thinkific or Kajabi, and then you'll go to that trainer's website and you can have them post your name on their directory, but everything's dead. I think that Convene Communities is alive. It's active. So our state directories are living and breathing because we have real people with real businesses inside, which is totally different than what anybody else is doing. So I'm really, really excited about that. Yeah.
And I'm glad you ended that way, because I'm gonna put that sort of comment and question back to Matt. Matt, our biggest difference in terms of the other platforms, and we talk about it, connect, communicate, educate, right? And collaborate. So what's the biggest difference? Not the biggest. What's one of the biggest differences from me going to a different platform, or even just watching YouTube videos, than what they're going to get in Convene?
I'll give you a couple. There is one is the collaboration. The collaboration is key. So this is how we learn, and what I go out and I speak about and I talk about is decision making, how we learn through life, and we learn through life experience. We learn through experience. So I'm going to take a concept that I'm going to teach you, and once I take that concept I'm going to teach you, I'm going to tie it to something applicable that you can really learn from and hold on to. So, but the key thing is, if we're all sitting here and we're talking about a specific topic, everybody here's parent. So if we're talking about parenting here, guess what? I'm not the only parent on this call. I'm not the only one who brings something to the table. So if I pose a question, it's like us sitting around the kitchen table or the restaurant, and I say, hey guys, if you were in this situation with your kid, how would you handle it? Well, I'm going to get 6 different answers, and that's based off of your experience. So experiential learning becomes extremely important. The collaboration becomes extremely important. That's what Laurel was alluding to. You're not just on a site and watching a 10-step course on how to become a death doula, or watching a 10-step course on, how to become an entrepreneur from Brenda. You're actually engaging in the content. Well, how do you do that? Our biggest differentiator is the way that we train. And Brenda was talking about experiences. And so in life, and the way I trained in the military, and the way we go forward is we do, we call it scenario-based training, right? So everything is based in a scenario. So I'm going to put you in a situation, and I'm going to say, if you were in this situation, how would you handle it? All right. And you're going to come back and you're going to talk about your hand. So we inside of the military, we go forward and we plan, we brief, we execute, we debrief, and then we rinse and repeat and do it again. And we don't make the same mistakes over and over and over and over. So that's literally really a part of experiential learning is you put people in a situation, whatever the topic might be, and then you allow them to participate in the discussion. You allow them to bring their expertise to this. See, people don't want to just watch your stack. They want to be a part of it, right? They want to be seen, heard, and validated. They want to be a part of your training. They want to be an active participant. Other platforms don't do that. We do that. We bring you in, we allow you to be a part of it, and we allow you to gather on that expertise. Now, if you take that as the teacher, all of us are the teacher here on this, then we talked about this today with the with working with one of the new guys who's helping with the program, and some of the exciting stuff that's coming down the line is that now you can go back and read those answers. And you as the teacher, when you're having your live sessions, there you go. There's your data. There's your information. There's your highlights. That's what you should be teaching off of. And so it's a different way to collaborate. It's a different way to teach. If I buy Brenda Warren's course, I want access to Brenda. She's the expert. That's why I'm there. I don't want to just watch her on a video.
And that's what I was alluding to as well. You make the two great points. And the other part was the access to the content creator, to the person that's running the group in the community. The example that's close to me is my growth mindset module that I'm bringing out. Well, you you Google growth mindset and you get a zillion different articles and different videos and everything else. But what's going to make me stand out or my module stand out is I'm going to actually go through it with the kids. Same with Mark's program. Same with Laurel teaching the depth. Same with Brenda with her entrepreneurs. Is I'm going to constantly be going back, refreshing not only the module, but adding to it, asking them other questions. I'm going to engage with those kids and young adults and not just, hey, here's the 10 steps, here's the 10 experiences, go at it, right? Yep. They're going to learn inside of the experiences from the other peers that are taking it and answering the questions and sharing their stories, but they're going to constantly be engaged with me. So
yeah. Can I make one more point?
Yeah, please.
I'm just going to expand on what Laurel was saying.
Yeah.
If I'm a death doula and I go and I have a client, and let's say with that client, something unique happens with that client. This goes back to what Brenda was talking about. Anybody can write an experience. Anybody can come in and do a discussion board. So if I go in and I have a client and something unique happens and I go, ooh, that was different or that was unique. I wonder if anybody else has ever experienced that. Any other death doula. Or I might think, you know what, that's unique. Everybody else needs to know this. Mm-hmm. They need to know this because that's how we learn. We want to put it in people's brains. So when I walk into that situation, I go, oh my gosh, that's what Jeff was talking about. That's exactly what Jeff was talking about with his client. So now I have the education, the answer, and I'm not caught off guard. So I don't go in and make that mistake again. And you go back to July 9th, 2001. On July 10th, I found out that the other squadron had kept a secret that would have caused that mishap not to happen. Well, what if we are in a death doula situation and something happens and Laurel keeps it a secret and she's like, well, I'm not going to tell everybody else, not my other death doulas. And then it turns into something big for somebody else when if she would have just opened her mouth, it had gone through that way. So you can come in and write an experience. You can come in and you can make a discussion board. And that's what is beautiful about Convene Communities, whether it be parenting, whether it be soccer coaching, whether it be working with youth, whether it be teaching entrepreneurs, it facilitates that.
But Convene created a culture that allows us to share our experiences in a way that other platforms also don't, which I think is unique to them. I think one of the most fun things that ever happened to me was that I saw a message that someone did and I set up a Zoom. They were expecting, I don't know what, but I came on the line and they were shocked. What are you doing here? Well, what I'm doing here is I'm answering your question. Although there was something in the discussion board, I really felt based on what they saw that I needed to meet with that person and do one-on-ones. Convene Communities gave me permission to step outside of my comfort zone and really start interacting with the people that I'm group coaching or one-on-one coaching in ways that maybe other platforms don't allow for because it's so digital and so static. And just my YouTube videos, people can go watch those. But when they come to Convene Community, they actually have the opportunity to get on laser calls with me monthly, training sessions with me weekly. And sometimes I do pop-up daily trainings if like something unique happens, because It's all about connection, collaboration, networking, and building relationships.
Well said.
Yeah. I like it.
Brenda's always the she
So
always brings the
eloquent the way
wisdom.
she describes it.
It makes me want to go run through this wall over here. I'm going to get up and just go run through the wall. Y'all gonna be like, what happened to Matt? He just ran through the wall.
Brenda,
Can't do that.
Brenda was so empowering. Matt had to jump up.
I know.
Run through
Yes.
the wall.
I'll stand up and go, bam, run through the wall.
It's just that because I
Why do
really believe in what Matt has established here for us. The fact that Matt's a Marine also gives me much
It
pride
does.
because, you know, Marines will
Well,
make
is
some
it-
things
can you
happen.
believe
So I
that-
had to do that just
Can
for
you
Matt.
believe that a Marine created this? Let's be honest with it. You know, let's go ahead and throw that out there.
But the
Yeah.
part about it is, I mean, think about this. I came in here a few years ago, not even believing that you guys were real, only to find out that you were the real deal and that you were serious about making those connections and allowing me to grow and be my best and help others do that in an environment that was designed for us to grow from each other's strengths. I'll say it again. Nobody's light in Convene has to dim because another person's light shine. We shine brighter together. And as a collective, we are going to do things that the likes that other people are going to go, what's going on over there? We need to come over here and join this. And I'm excited about it. So when I talk about it with passion, what you're hearing is the empowerment that has been given to me by all of you here tonight and those that aren't here that say, come in to this community, start a group that's specific to what you want to train and teach on, but also be a part of a collective of people that are also doing maybe the same thing or similar things without competition, but with the thought of community to build each other so we all rise together.
Yeah, I was going to go there. I was going to say, it's you build the community. It's a platform. You build a community around your thing. One of the biggest things out there is you know, community marketing, and that's really it. We grow together. We community market. We share each other. Pretty cool. Laurel is being contacted off of stuff that Convene is marketed for her. You know, and that's a good thing. That's what we want. That's exciting. But I like how you talk about how we include everybody, you know, and how important that is. So we include Doc, you know, and he was Navy. So we even care about Doc. He was Navy. We'll bring him in. We'll fold him in like we love him. We'll act like we love him. We'll ask him to get on the big gray ship. And if he can give us a ride to where we need to go, so we go out there and do what we need to do as Marines, you know, fight the big battle.
2 words. Shot record.
Shot record.
One of the biggest things I like about the Navy, Doc, is the singular word, humble. Navy guys are humble, you know.
What?
Can't say that about the rest of the
Navy guys are humble. Somebody fooled you.
You know, the problem is Marines don't have to be humble.
Well, I'm just listening to all the Marine talk over here.
Listen to that. Brenda just said it right. Go ahead, Brenda. Say it again.
Marines don't have to be humble because we know who we are. We are the baddest. We are the best, and we make stuff happen.
Doc, let me say that word again.
That's why a Marine created this amazing platform that brings real people having real experiences, doing real life on real time every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm talking about.
So welcome back to another episode. Is that real or is that manure?
Hey, you come in and you get with us, we're going to give you the confidence that you need to be successful in life. Just stick with the Marines.
That's right.
That's right. Because even if we shouldn't, we still have the confidence.
That's
proving that point. They're just proving the point.
All right. What does anybody else got to say? We're closing the year out. This is the last podcast of the year. This is your one last chance to make your pitch and make your comment. So
Chris, I got a pitch for this. Is that you know I'm not gonna miss an opportunity because no opportunity wasted to say how great Convene is and the people here. If you are a person in need of support and you have a family member in hospice, then you need to reach out and talk to Laurel, the amazing death doula that is training people all across the country to help people in their time of need. And please understand, she is good at what she does. There are other programs, but there are no other Laurels. If
That's
you need
true.
your kids properly trained, then you need to talk to Jeff and Mark, because they are making sure that the mindset and the integrity and the training is made available for them. And if you need some coaching that is beyond this world, you need to see Matt and myself, because as Marines, we can make sure that you take action and close the gap between your desires and reality. And if you want to see a podcast and have a podcast that reaches the masses, then you need to hook up with Doc, because even though he's Navy, I'm sorry, Doc. Doc is the best at what he's done, because he makes all of us look good, even when we're acting a fool. So come on over to Convene Communities, join a platform with a purpose, so that you can live out your purpose and close the gap between your desires and your reality. Because remember, the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. So choose wisely and choose to become a part of Convene Communities.
I'm gonna put Brenda on all the commercials.
I agree with almost all of that.
Yeah, and speaking of Laurel and Death, I mean, do you know that she is actually? We have a group. I have a group inside of Laurel, and guess who's inside of that group? Inside of that group is Laurel, because she's the death coach.
Mm-hmm.
She's taking me through it. But my wife, me. This is another thing Convene lets you. My wife, me, and my Braden, and my 2 daughters, and it is a group in there, a private group, where we can get all of our directives, all of our stuff in order. Because again, I flew air medical. I flew 659 patient flights. I watch people's lives change like that. I watch them get up in the morning and everything's good. I watch by the afternoon, they have a family member that's dead. And guess what? Sometimes they were kids. Sometimes they were teenagers. Sometimes they were young adults. Sometimes they were elderly. So I have bought in on that. I asked Laurel one time, I mean, when should you get your stuff together? And she's said, well, you should definitely be doing it by your time you're 18. But, you know, like I said to Laurel, yeah, you know, ask her a dumb question. She, told me a story about passwords. You know, her dad had just updated the passwords before he passed away. And I'm like, well, would my wife and my kids know my passwords if something happened to me? So you have private documents in your group. So we've created a document, document for passwords and stuff. So there's no limit. And I'm an individual client.
Yeah.
In that.
I love it. Yep. You're a great client, Matt. But I'll tell you,
she's planning my demise. So that's what she's doing. She's planning my demise.
Wait till January 25.
Trying to take me out in 2024.
I can't beat Brenda, so I'm going to end on a joke. Matt didn't write me back for an entire day. And I said, are you okay? And he goes, oh, you thought I was dead. That's what death doulas do. I was like, no.
Hey,
That's
Matt.
a true story. That's a true story. I didn't write her back, and she's like, are you okay? I'm like, I
Matt,
got busy.
would you say when it comes to Convene that Laurel's killing it?
Laurel's killing it.
Yeah.
She is killing it, you know?
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
What?
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Well, there's two things that are true in life, and I will say this, and this is actually applicable to Convene. There's two certainties in life. You're going to be born, you're going to die. Okay? Not to go all that way, but what you do in between is up to you. And so I think that Convene Community is a platform with a purpose is really something that is special. We're here to make a difference in people's lives. There's Bible studies. There's all kinds of stuff going on inside of that. And so it's wonderful. Mark, you got something you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I sure enjoyed this this session. Convene just has that, just gives me that hope. Like, all right, now I can reach my people, and you of all the groups I hang out with, and I've got quite a number of groups. You are the highest performing group that I hang out with, and I love that. I just love that. I just feel like you guys are going to pull me up. And it makes me want to be at a higher level myself. So thank you all for that.
I like it.
You're
Jeff?
welcome.
Well, I just thought about this. This coming year, 2024, is going to be my 10th year with Convene.
That's right. You started recruiting my son to play college soccer in 2014. Think about that.
That's right. So
there's staying power.
And I know the number 10 is a lucky number. All the best soccer players in the world wear that, or number 4. But anyway, 2024 is going to be a great year for Convene, and I can't
Yes.
wait to be on this in December 2024 talking about the exponential growth that we had over the year.
A lot of good things coming. We got a IT team getting ready, that's kicked in on the revamp. We will be a mobile platform, mobile app by the time we're, at some point this year. Just so many good things are happening inside of this platform. So many lives are being changed, and we're just getting started. If you're looking for somewhere to be, if you're looking for something different, looking for someone, we haven't even marketed. Nobody knows who we are. That's the great thing. We're getting ready to go. Some people know who we are, but they don't even know what's coming.
Be a first in.
Yeah, be the first in.
Be a first in.
That's right. Be the first in.
Yeah. You may have seen, go back in the video, there's a donate button up in the corner. I wasn't quick enough to catch it, but donate to Doc. He does this out of the kindness of his heart. He does great things. Really appreciate it. Doc, everything that you do. What do you have to say?
2024 is going to be an amazing year for both Jeffrey and I. Believe me. Everyone knows it. If you don't believe it, you're fake news.
Taking my donation back.
I love
Jeffrey?
It. All right.
Oh,
Guess
Jeffrey,
what?
Jeff. I thought that I couldn't figure that out. Got it.
Come on, Laurel, get with the program here.
Oh, man.
All right. Time to go, everybody. 2024. 2023 was great. 2024 is going to be even better. Come and join us if you're watching. I have to get home because the North Carolina Tar Heels are playing Oklahoma. So everybody have a great night. Merry Christmas. We'll see you guys in 2024.